Hello dear students, greetings to all. Today we are going to discuss Chinese civilization or the Huanghe civilization. China witnessed the rise of a great civilization nearly 4500 years ago. The Chinese civilization is also a river valley civilization. We have seen different civilizations like Indus Valley civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, etc. In all the civilizations, we have seen rivers have a very important role in the development of the civilization. And when we talk about Huanghe civilization, we can see three important rivers. The first one is the Huanghe in the north side, and the next one is the Yangtze Kiang in the center, and the next one is Sikiang in the south. These three rivers had very important role in the development of Chinese civilization. We have seen in the first chapter when man began to live in towns, it marked the beginning of civilization. So when the people started to live together, and here also, as in the other civilizations, when people start to live together as a town, it marked civilization. And here, the place near these rivers was very fertile, and the climate of this area was also very temperate, and it was good for the agriculture. That is why the people started to live together and marked the development of civilization. And this Huanghe civilization developed during the Shang Dynasty. Shang was a king in China, and this civilization started to develop during his period. When we talk about the Shang Dynasty, he is the earliest ruling dynasty of China, and they were known for their advance in math, astronomy, artwork, and military technology. They were very good. Let us talk about the people and society. When we talk about the people, there were three different classes. The first class was king and his family, and they held a top position. And thereafter, the next class was a group of people called nobles. It can be religious people, it can be like pandits, and there was scholars, merchants, artisans, craftsmen, cultivators, that means farmers, and all these people together made the second class, and they were having a position below the ruling family. And the last class was the slaves. They were the lowest class, and they had a very miserable life, and even they were buried alive along with their master to serve him. And when we talk about the soldiers, they were a separate class, and the people gave high esteem. That means the soldiers were respected by the people. Even the people were afraid of the soldiers. That itself shows the importance of defense that the Chinese people had given. So, once again, let us brief it. There were three classes. The first one was the king and his family, and the second class was consisted of nobles, scholars, merchants, artisans, craftsmen, craftsmen, and cultivators. And the last and the lowest class was the slaves. And the soldiers were considered as a separate class apart with a very high esteem. Now let us discuss occupations and craft. The main occupation of Chinese civilization was agriculture, and it is because they had a very fine and fertile soil and river. River means they can use the river for water irrigation. So that is why the people had taken agriculture as the main occupation. If the place is less fertile, then the people had used manure to increase the productivity. And the next important point is that they had a very good canal system, and which controlled the flood, and they had utilized it for irrigation. As there were three important rivers, the people had taken agriculture as their main occupation. When we look at the next occupation, the second most occupation of Chinese people were carpentry and woodwork. The carpentry and woodwork of the Chinese people are very famous. They are famous for cabinet making and timber work in palaces. When we search in the internet, we will find a lot of timber work, woodworks in palaces. The Chinese were excellent in carving on the wood. So that is why they are famous in this case. The ivory work of Chinese is also very famous. And the next occupation was the bronze casting. They had a very good and a large scale business during Shang Dynasty. Chinese bronzes were the product of an advanced technology. The bronze were excellent. And when we talk about the next occupation, that is silk production. And they breed silkworms, and the silk were made out of cocoons. So we know that there is a silkworm, how they had made the silk, and even they exported silk to other countries through silk routes. Even now, China is the world center for silk production. And the next occupation they had was the paper making, and they developed paper, and making of paper was another occupation. So, dear students, today we have seen about the introduction of Huanghe civilization and the people and the society. Then finally we have seen about the occupations and craft of Chinese civilization. In the occupations we have seen mainly five types of occupations. One is agriculture, the first and foremost, then carpentry and woodwork, then bronze casting, silk production, and finally paper making. Dear students, you have to write down the important points in your notebook and you have to learn it by heart. Have a nice day. God bless you all.